Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, and I think it's even Rosh Chodesh Tov. It's the start of a new Hebrew month. And welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Radine Marks, your host, and I'm delighted to bring you Israel's top stories Mondays to Thursdays on this very platform. So let's take a look at where Israel currently stands with the COVID-19 virus. It has been the top story, the big topic of discussion, especially in light of a peak in infections over the last 2 weeks. Even though in the last 24 hours the infection rate has come down slightly, it is still high. So let's take a look at those important statistics, the numbers that are the big deciding factor here. And since the start of the pandemic, Israel has seen 20,869 cases with 307 fatalities. At the moment, there are 4,848 people infected with the virus. 46 of them are in serious condition, 29 needing ventilators, but 15,714 have made full recovery. Last week, some of the hospitals that had specialized COVID wards reopened those wards just in case the numbers continue to rise, and it does put a strain on our medical system. So those wards have opened. Also, quite controversial at the moment is the ongoing debate whether or not Israel should reinstate the tracking that was instated at the beginning of the crisis. There is a lot of debate whether or not this should happen. Also, the government has threatened to tighten the restrictions, or rather the enforcement of the restrictions, and the police have said they will absolutely carry out much tougher penalties and much tougher enforcing of restrictions. But it's not all bad news. Today, trains reopened after 3 months of being out of commission. However, of course, it does have to comply with strict social distancing, the wearing of masks, and you do have to book your tickets well in advance. And cultural events have opened up to about 250 people. Again, the mandatory wearing of masks and keeping social distancing. So those are the latest highlights, but unfortunately, as the numbers do continue to rise, and there are several who have said that Israel is within its second wave, there will be no more lifting of restrictions until we see a major drop in daily infections. On to other news, and Yad Vashem will be bidding a fond but sad farewell to its 81-year-old director, Avner Shalev, who has headed the internationally renowned museum for 27 years. He will be stepping down. It has not been made public why or who will replace him, but we wish him everything of the best. He has been extraordinary in his job of stewarding one of the most poignant and important memorials and museums in the world. Yad Vashem is the memorial and the museum to the story of the destruction, the genocide of Europe's Jews during World War II, the Holocaust, preserving its memory and teaching. And if you're looking for something to do while you're in lockdown, Yad Vashem offer quite a few online courses, and it's a good idea to go and check them out. And in other news, the Tel Aviv municipality, to coincide with Pride Month, has said that they will legalize same-sex marriage, and they've issued a challenge to the government of Israel to do the same. Starting from this week, same-sex couples will be able to finalize, or they will be able to get married with all the rights that a married couple or a heteronormal married couple would receive, and that includes tax breaks on property, other benefits, and child daycare. So that is another huge and very, very significant step in promoting LGBTQ rights in Israel, often dubbed the most progressive country in the Middle East and one of the most progressive countries in the world with regard to LGBTQ month. So for all of our viewers out there, happy Pride Month, and if you live in the city of Tel Aviv, you can now formally get married. Those are the top stories making headlines. Don't forget, you can check out our original content all online at www.layoftheland.online. There is an article from Dave Kaplan about the toppling of statues, which is a phenomenon we see taking place recently. You can also check it out on our Facebook page at Local Site. While you are there, please give us a like or a follow, share our content. Our big challenge is to get up to 1,000 likes and follows, and we need your help to do that. Also, don't forget that we have a YouTube channel, and the more of you who subscribe, it makes it easier for our side or the Israelis' narrative to get out to the mainstream world. Many people say they don't often hear other news from Israel except if we are responding to something. So here is an opportunity to tell Israel's story. You can do that by looking for our YouTube channel at the Israel Brief and simply clicking on the big red subscribe button. So these are the top stories making headlines today. I'm Rolie Marks. This is the Israel Brief, and we'll chat again tomorrow.